Hey YouTube, how's it going? I'm Wes and I'm back with another video today. Today's going to be a little bit different than what you've normally seen on the channel, and this is going to be our first video in a series of videos about how I'm going to make my own personal portable solar generator. So anyways, what I've done is I went out and I bought a Ames Power 600 watt Pure Sine Wave power inverter. This thing will have a 1200 watt peak burst or 1200 watt surge. It's 120 volt output, and it's got a convenient AC plug on it, it says. I've done a lot of research on these inverters over several years, and for the money, this is a good inverter. I think I paid like around 129, 130 bucks for this unit right here on Amazon. But I'm going to mount this inside a box, and I'm going to power it with some batteries, and I'm going to build myself a portable solar generator that I can take anywhere I want to go and have power. So right now in front of me, you can see a couple of different batteries. These are just some sealed lead acid batteries. These can be found in a lot of your electronic appliances today. A lot of them are, you'll find them in like these APCs or UPSs, like for your computer, a powered backup. There's a lot of videos on YouTube about these, so we're not going to really get into these. We're kind of going to do the same thing as a UPS, but a little bit different, a little bit bigger, and provide a little bit more power. And we're going to run a 12 volt system, and we're going to turn that into a 110 volt system. But we'll also be running a lot of 12 volt appliances at the same time. So we're going to have a lot of little doohickeys and gadgets that will help do that. And this will be a nice little portable system. Be easy to use. You can carry it around. You can put it in your car, keep it in your house, all that good stuff. So we just got this. It came in today. Let's open this up, see what's inside the box. We got some white box here. This is the box. Now I want to say Ames Power is a pretty decent inverter. It's affordable. This is actually really lightweight, by the way. I'm not sure how much it weighs, but it's really light. And there's a lot of knockoffs on the Ames inverter. And myself, one thing that I was kind of anxious about was to find out where this is actually made. And because there's some controversy. Because if you look on YouTube or if you look on Amazon or eBay, you're going to find that the Ames inverter has been copied, or maybe they just put this Ames Power name on it. Because in China, you can get the exact same one for a fraction of the cost, all the way up to, I think it's 12,000 watts of power with like a 16 or 24,000 watt surge. So I was real anxious to get one to try it out. Now this has 210 volt plugs on the front of it. And it looks like it's got a little USB charge as well. And I'm not sure if that's a 1 amp or a 2.1, but we'll get to that later. Like I said, it's 12 volt input and converts to 110, or for some of you guys that are really into power, 120 volts. Also looks like a grounding earth ground right here. A couple of fuses with a fuse cover, a little fan. This is where you put your wiring. These are standard like speaker jacks. You just take those off and put a D-ring over that or whatever, and voila. These are going to be the 12 volt input. Now let's see if this is made in China. Well, according to the paperwork on the back, or the warning on the back, it doesn't say anything about China. We've got a little test thing here. It's got quality control pass number 13, but no other literature about where it was made. Not in the USA, not China, not Thailand, not anywhere, but maybe in the brochure. This inverter comes with a little pamphlet like so. And let's see if the pamphlet tells us anything. No, it doesn't say anything about it, where it was made here. I'm sure with a little bit of research we can find out exactly where this is made, but I think people say this is an American-made product, and that probably is, but at 100 and some bucks, I'm going to say it wasn't made in America because, yeah, man, I don't buy it. It might be imported to America and sold through America from an American company. I can go with that, but and that being said, so you get that, you get some screws or some little little rubber washers. These are for mounting it so you don't have any vibration, like in your vehicle or whatever. Once again, I do want to say this is a Pure Sine Wave power inverter, so it says, and we're going to find that out in a few tests. And there are, like I said, some videos on YouTube about this particular inverter and the bigger inverters, and these things go all the way up to, like I said, you run your whole house on one of these. This is what I could get to me quickly for what I'm going to do to show you how we're going to make a simple portable solar generator. And we're going to start with a 600 watt because that seems to be like what's out there on the market for the most part, anywhere from the, I want to say the $300 to $400 range, all the way up to, like, I don't know, man. I've seen them for what, $3 grand, Derek? Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, we got a new person in the studio today, James. James is behind the camera over here. He's our gopher, our grip, our little helper. A good friend of ours. James has worked with us before, and he might even been in a video or two. I think, I don't remember, but say hi, James.
Hello.
Hello, he says. All right. So what I'm going to do today? Oh, I forgot to open the white box. I don't want to get too much on a ramble and a rant, but I just kind of want to show you what we're going to be doing here. And this, of course, comes with some DC plugs that you'll power up to your, you know, this is supposed to go onto your battery. And this is supposed to go onto your battery and then go onto your, this is supposed to go onto your inverter, positive and negative. And this is just supposed to clip to your car battery, or any battery for that matter, that's 12 volt. Remember, this is a 12 volt inverter. So really quickly, I'll just show you how to set this thing up. So we're going to kind of do like an open box, a quick tutorial, and then we're going to kind of move it on to some other things. Now, there's a lot of videos out there on this stuff. For you, a lot of you guys that are interested in watching, this is a no-brainer. For some of you guys that have never seen this, or you're reviewing this inverter, well, great. You're going to see how to do this. Take the screw, or the nuts off the top here. Flip this over flat side down, lock it onto your negative, screw your nut back on. This is really nice, by the way. Now we're going to take this red one, we're going to put on the positive post. And now we have a positive and a negative connection. I'm sure you can see that. I'll put a little close to the camera so you can see it. Right up here on that bad boy. And I have another little inverter here next to this. This is the little Portawatts 300. I got to tell you, man, I bought this thing, like, I've had this thing for probably 10 or 15 years. Like when I first seen them come out, 300 watts. I've used it for hundreds of hours in the car, camping, whatever. This little thing rocks. You can still buy these today. I paid like 30 or 40 bucks for this. I have another one somewhere. This was in fact made in China. Now, this is just a little 300 watt guy, and I've never really ran any serious electronic tests on it. It worked for everything I needed it for, so it worked. Today's a new day and age. We're doing a new video series, so we're going to be doing some testing on these things. And but I want to say, I don't believe that this is a pure sine wave inverter. It's just an inverter. It'll run a laptop, it'll run some stuff, but it doesn't have the cleanest power. And I don't know if it's low frequency or high frequency either. So that being said, I have another inverter here that I've had for several years as well. And this is just another industrial grade inverter. And this is the, looks like the 1500 watt Power Maxx SST inverter. I think at the time when I bought this, it was like $200 or $300. You know, it's a bigger, heavier unit. You know, this is made to like wire into your vehicle, similar to this one is, or clip to your batteries, and you know, take it out on the job site. And without getting into these too deep, there's that inverter right there. And I'm assuming this one here is made in China as well. Yep, made in China. See, these guys are willingly telling us they're making these in China. And this one has a little pamphlet, and it has some pretty badass cables in here. Now, I'm going to regret taking these out because, yeah. So these are like the size of your battery cables in your car. You got a positive and a negative, and you would put some sort of an end on here. Actually, no, let me take that back. These ends go right into the back of the inverter, and then screw down into the inverter, and then these would clip onto your battery in some way or shape or form. And this is an industrial heavy duty one at 1500 watts. So like you can run your table saw or your drills on a construction site or out in the middle of the field or wherever. And you can wire this right into your car or your truck battery and be rocking. This has got 2 fans in the back. This one will take 3 110 AC outlets on it. Of course, there's no USB stuff here. It's got a power level indicator on it. It's got a little on-off switch as well. But that gives you kind of a size comparison, you know, 300 watts, 600 watts, 1500 watts. Once again, not a pure sine wave inverter. This is just a standard, probably a pulse width or MSD, I think it's called, or not MSD, it's a modulated sine wave probably, if even that. And I don't know if it's low frequency or high frequency either. Never cared, just pulled it out of the case. I've only used it a few times, so it's irrelevant to this build. I just kind of wanted to have it here as a prop to show you the differences of these. Doing a portable power system is pretty simple. You have to have a way to hook it to a battery, like so. We happen to have these little UPS batteries right here. This is a sealed lead acid, as I said earlier. Hook up a positive, then you hook up a negative, turn it on. Now this little unit here is supposed to go into the cigarette lighter of your car, like so. And I just have this other little adapter to go like that. We can flip this on. We've got power. I can hear the fan turning. It's a very soft, quiet fan, but a fan nonetheless. I got a light right over here. And I'll just power that light up real quick. And we've got light. Now, this is only 300 watts, but this will run like a big ring light like we use here for filming in the studio. It's back over there. We tested it out the other day at full wattage for quite a long time on this battery. Hell, we never even got this battery below 12.9 volts. But anyways, that gives you an idea what it can do. You know, you got another outlet here. You could, you know, if we can reach it with that adapter, yeah, we could plug in something else and charge an iPhone or run a little fan or whatever the case is. And so this is portable power at its simplest. And there's been some guys doing some videos on that. And you know, you could literally take this out or, you know, out into the forest, shoot a video, put on some lights, run a fan, charge several cell phones, whatever you need to do, whatever you want to do, with just this simple little battery. And that's not what we're going to do. We just happen to have these batteries here for other needs for our UPSs, and that's what we're going to do. Anyways, I'm going to turn this off here, and let's switch over to this new one. Got these little alligator clips. These are nice. They're a little heavier than the ones I've got there. Rubber insulators, which is cool. Looks like we're powered up. Now, generally, guys, I would say don't do this at home like I'm doing it here. Kind of in a controlled environment. I know a little bit about electricity, so if it sparks, it'll be okay. We got sealed lead acid, no fumes, shouldn't have any issues. Here it is. We've hooked it up. Let's turn it on. We got a green light, no running fan. These are not going to want to stay hooked up. We'll try this again. Let's do that so you can see it. Should have a green light. Got a green light up here, boys? I can't see now. Yep. We have no running fan because it's not taking any power right now. It's not hot, so there's no reason for that to be running. I will take the same cord from this guy, and I'm just going to reach over here, plug it in. Voila, we have some light. That light doesn't pull any wattage. That's an LED light. What do we have in here that pulls a little more power, guys? All right, so after a little bit of finagling and putting a few things out on the counter here, we've got an Xbox now that we're going to try, and I've got a heat gun here, which draws a lot of amperage and wattage. So I'm going to try the heat gun first. And I would assume, well, it looks like we got some tamper-resistant doohickeys. There we go. That's in. And we're going to try the gun here and see what we can get. I'm going to go to low here first. It's cycling. Let's kick it all the way on. And it's not going to pull the heat gun. So that's the alarm telling us we've overloaded the circuit. So if you plan on doing any, sine work or any work with a hot air gun, don't bother with this little guy because it's not going to fly. All right, let's go with the next one here, the Xbox. I think it should be no problem. We've got our light on the Xbox here. Xbox is up. Fan's not running here. So Xbox isn't taking a lot of load anyway. There's a button here to eject, right? Somewhere. It's up and running. Fan still hasn't kicked on the inverter. We're good to go. We could plug some other deals in here. While we're here, let's have a little fun. All right, so we're back now after another little conundrum, and we put some other things on here. Right now I've got a kilowatt meter on here. Let's see what we can do with this thing. All right, so we got the kilowatt on here, and this is running at 119.1 volts. We are pulling 1.62 amps. We are pulling 121 watts. 195 volt amps, I guess is what that is. And we are running at 60 hertz. And a lot of people have the question, 50 hertz / 60 hertz, what does that mean? Well, in America, we run everything at 60 hertz. Overseas, the UK, a lot of other countries run at 50 hertz. We're not the only country that runs 60 hertz, I don't think, but that's what the 60 hertz thing means. That's another video for another day. And so far, we have consumed 0 kilowatt hours. We're not getting any fan on the aims. There's no heat at it right now. None of the above. We can just kind of let that sit here and run. I'll go back to watts. A consistent 121 watts from the Xbox. We're just in a standard mode, just sitting here. Let's see what else we have we can plug in. Something a little more higher power. All right, everybody. So we got a few things stacked up here now. We're still running off this one little tiny battery. I just want to say this is a 12 volt, I think 8 amp hour battery. 19 bucks on Amazon. Once again, sealed lead acid. We're going to run a couple of appliances. So really quick, I'm going to turn on a guitar amp. It's not a big one, but hey, if you're out backpacking or you're just at a campfire, this will do the job. It's got some pretty clean power. That buzz you hear is when I crank up the gain, and that's any amp that's going to do that, no matter what kind of power you're connected to. Derek, please strum the guitar just real quick. It's going to be kind of loud. We're pulling 8 and 6 watts. Hit it again. Now, if we hit a little distortion, that's going to go way up. Crank it. That's a lot cleaner. Go ahead. So the distortion mode takes a lot more power, but oh well. And now we just, it's up in clean mode. I'm just going to keep the volume up there a little bit. Don't need to hit it anymore. And we're just running about 4.5 volts. So that buzz is going to be there, and that's because this is a guitar amplifier, an electric amp. There's nothing we can do. I'm going to turn this little fan on. It's not a lot, and that's on high. So you can see that that's running right now. And then we're going to kick on the Xbox. James, can you come around, please, and turn on the Xbox? And we're just running everything into a power strip, and then the kilowatt meter. Now that we've turned everything on, we're pulling 180 watts total. So we haven't even touched what this can produce off this little battery. And I will say that the fan is still not came on in the back of the Ames inverter, so that's kind of cool. Let's see, somebody give me something else to plug in. Let's see what else we can pull off here. We know we can't do the heat gun. Here, let's plug another light in. Lights on nice and bright. We're up to 187 watts. Being that's LED, it doesn't pull a lot of current. What else can we plug in? Here I've got one. We've been running this UPS, charging batteries, some 18650s. It's charging down on this UPS that we have. The UPS isn't plugged in. Let's go ahead and plug the UPS in. Now we're going to actually be charging the battery in the UPS with the battery that we're running through the inverter just for testing purposes and educational purposes. We're not trying to regenerate our own power right now. So now we've got this running. It's on, charging batteries, and you can see that that this is actually on as well. And this is being now, the UPS part of this is now shut off. We're running at 205 volts. Let's pop a little iPad in this bad boy, see what happens here. I guess we're gonna have to go to the front for that. iPad's charging, it is at 100% probably, but you can see that it is charging. I'll go ahead and close it off, do this again. 100% charged, but it is charging. So we've got our power strip filled. We're running 200 watts only. Got a fan kicking up here. Guitar amp rocking. It's still on. You can maybe hear a little bit of the buzzing. And we're just not pulling anything. 200 watts off a little tiny battery. As we're recharging another battery. All right, so we're going to make a little bit of a mess. I'm going to be a little careful here. Let's see here. Here it is. This is going to be part of the solar generator build. It's got a little on-off switch. It's got 2 USBs and a 12-volt cigarette lighter adapter. But what we can do is we can just really quickly hook this up to the positive and the negative over here and see what we got. I normally wouldn't be doing things this way, but for educational purposes to show you what we've got here, I'll go ahead and do it today. There we go. See if I can do this and have it upright. So this battery has now been drained down to 10.9 volts, and it wasn't even fully charged when we started. And we could maybe leave this sit here for a second. Everything seems to be running fine. Once again, this battery is charging this battery, running this inverter, and the fan still hasn't kicked on. Could maybe feel maybe a little warmth on it. So anyways, guys, that's portable power at its simplest and kind of in a big pile and conundrum here. But the next video we shoot, this is going to be a lot cleaner. It's going to look a lot better. And I just wanted to give you some examples of what you can run with a simple little tiny battery. Now imagine when we go to a lithium ion battery or a lithium polymer battery or a lithium iron phosphate battery. 2.3 pounds, I can get a lithium iron phosphate battery that's this exact same size and weighs about 60 to 80% less. And will even produce more power and give me 2,000 charge cycles, and the efficiency will be through the roof at like 90%, 80%. And that's what you're going to see here coming forward or moving forward, the type of stuff that I'm going to be doing here, kind of builds that I'm going to be doing, and the efficiency that we're going to be doing. Anyways, as usual, I'd like to say, hey, if you like this video, smash the like button. Be sure to subscribe. I'll try to get a link to everything here down in the description area below. If there's anything you want to see me do with this stuff, give me a shout out. If you've got some ideas or you got some input on some of these things, or maybe you know a little bit more about some of these things I've got sitting in front of me and you want to chat, let me know. Hit me up. Anyways, until next time, I'm Wes. Derek's behind the camera. We got James behind the other camera over there. Take it easy.